It's baseline. So I'm going to try to cut the short commentaries sort of to a minimum as we roll into the election season. But I wanted to make this one point having to do with psychological care and that whole realm of practice. I had to go through two psychologists, they're just as similar in common as your caseworker, the guy that types in your information, the guy that fetches your birth certificate. They're really nothing like a shrink. They're simply just steps that the state puts in place to vet out certain types of people that'll go along a different track of more applied care, tighter conditions, less perks, but actually more money, $1,100 extra if you're crazy, or you say you are. So anyway, I passed normal with flying colors, and what was disturbing though, I thought, and I mentioned this to a couple of people around me when these things were going on, is the abuse of this. Two things stand out in particular, which I think speak to a whole other realm of issues. And there are two questions. One is when you're going through it, it's normal, you've been here, you make this much, you're homeless, whatever, and then they turn, they look at you, and they soften their eyes like that, and they say, have you ever had any thoughts of killing yourself or harming yourself? And then you say, and you try not to smile or whatever, you just say no. And then she says, have you ever had any thoughts of harming or killing another person? And so of course you say no to that, but the point is that what they're doing is they're asking you to lie. Okay, that's what it all is about. Because number one, of course I've had thoughts of killing myself. If you haven't, then you don't have a brain. You're not a normal person, because it's a widely known thing. It's something that would occur to anyone, even if, they say, I could kill myself for that. I mean, come on. I mean, that doesn't mean you're going to kill yourself. I mean, the brain is an active function device, and you're open to millions of possible thoughts at any moment. If you can't control that, then you're just under your own hallucination, man. It's the noise coming out of your brain. Why should you suppress it? I always said that a guy that says, hey, I'm going to put my cat in the microwave is far less likely to put his cat in the microwave than a guy that says, I can't even think about that. I can't even have that thought in my mind. Secondly, the question comes up, what was it? It was, I hate to pause on camera here, it was a similar question, which basically you lied about it. Have you heard voices? This was actually in rehab. Most of them did. Yes, I hear voices. They were disturbed by it. None of them was saying, hey, pull an axe out and kill everybody. But they were on things that I thought were totally normal, reacting to as if they were out of body. I hear voices all the time. So do you. I hear music all the time. It's running through my head perfectly. Not some distant memory. Full, orchestrated, excellent piece-by-piece of music that I've memorized. Just to make me happy. It's your goddamn brain. It's got storage in it. And, same with voices. I hear voices out of everything because, I'm a word guy. It's like looking at any tapestry. It's ridiculous to think that these things are outside of our control and management. And what's really more disturbing is that what we're doing is, these are two acts of suppressing the brain. It's not supposed to be healthy to hear things that your brain's creating. It's you're not supposed to be healthy to think about certain things that are options in the world. What are we saying here? We have other tracks of thought in society that say, mankind's only using a small fraction of his brain. What could we be as beings, or is it a conspiracy that, we're only using part of our brain, that we don't live in a society that allows us to expand what the possibilities may be, or what the messages coming out of the brain may mean, or may direct us to be, or may create peacefully, harmlessly. Instead, these little messages of suppression, they're very clear, they're very glaring because they stand up because of the subject matter, but you can search around for many of those things, the unspeakables, which, again, to me makes no sense. We're a communication society, we're all big boys and girls. If you want to kill yourself, you want to go, do something else stupid, please don't harm anybody else. Anyway, interesting note, what does the Minutemen say? The old band from the 80s, I'm ranting. Let the products sell themselves. Fuck advertising, commercials, psychology, psychological, analytical procedure should be destroyed. You should buy those guys. Great late 80s hardcore rock and roll band. Baseline.